Remember the scene in Idiocracy where protagonist Joe Bowers, a perfectly average guy, wakes up 500 years in the future to find himself the smartest man alive? It's a shocking revelation for Joe, who was just an ordinary person in his own time. He's baffled by a society obsessed with consumerism, where complex language has devolved into monosyllabic grunts and bodily functions are national entertainment. The world he knew has transformed into a place where intellect is undervalued and instant gratification is the norm. The movie, though a comedy, paints a stark picture of what happens when anti-intellectualism reigns supreme. It serves as a satirical warning about the dangers of neglecting education and critical thinking. It's funny because it's absurd, right? But is it really that far-fetched? The exaggerated scenarios in the film might seem extreme, but they reflect underlying truths about our own society. Take a walk through your local superstore. Notice how people are drawn to the latest gadgets and gimmicks, often without questioning their necessity. Gaze upon the endless aisles of products designed to solve problems you didn't even know you had. From specialized kitchen tools to beauty products promising miraculous results, the choices are overwhelming. We are bombarded with choices, overwhelmed with information, and constantly urged to consume. Advertisements and marketing strategies are meticulously crafted to tap into our desires and insecurities. Does this constant barrage of stimulation sharpen our minds or dull them? Are we becoming more informed and enlightened, or are we losing our ability to think critically and independently? The line between reality and satire blurs as we navigate a world increasingly driven by consumerism and instant gratification. The question remains, are we heading towards a future like the one depicted in Idiocracy, or can we change course before it's too late? Idiocracy posits a world where intelligence is inversely proportional to reproductive success. In this dystopian vision, the less intelligent individuals reproduce at a much faster rate, leading to a gradual decline in the overall IQ of the population. This concept, while seemingly far-fetched, serves as a satirical warning about the potential consequences of neglecting intellectual development. The less intelligent reproduce at a much faster rate, leading to a gradual decline in the overall IQ of the population. This scenario paints a picture of a future where intellectual capacity is diluted over generations, creating a society that struggles to solve complex problems and innovate. This might seem like a ridiculous exaggeration, a comedic device. However, it raises important questions about the value we place on intelligence and education in our current society. But are we not witnessing a similar trend in our own society, albeit driven by different factors? The rise of misinformation, the devaluation of expertise, and the polarization of public discourse all contribute to a landscape where critical thinking is under threat. Think about it. We live in a world of instant gratification and shrinking attention spans. Our digital age bombards us with information, yet often lacks depth and context. Complex issues are distilled into easily digestible sound bites. Nuance is lost. The media often prioritizes sensationalism over substance, leading to a populace that is less informed and more easily swayed by simplistic narratives. Critical thinking is replaced with knee-jerk reactions. Instead of engaging in thoughtful analysis, many people respond impulsively to headlines and social media posts, further exacerbating the divide and diminishing our collective intelligence. In Idiocracy, the most popular form of entertainment is a show called Ow My Balls, where the protagonist kicks himself in the groin repeatedly. Sophisticated political discourse has been replaced by slogans and insults. Sound familiar? Our news cycles are dominated by sensationalism. Social media thrives on outrage and emotional responses. We are losing our ability to engage in reasoned debate, to analyze information critically, and to formulate our own opinions based on evidence. Reality television, with its emphasis on manufactured drama and superficiality, has become a dominant force in entertainment. People tune in to watch others argue, fight, and generally behave badly. Is this a harmless form of escapism or a reflection of our own declining standards? Idiocracy's entertainment landscape is a caricature, but it holds up a mirror to our own. We are increasingly drawn to the lowest common denominator, to content that requires little thought or engagement. This steady diet of junk food for the mind cannot be good for our collective intelligence. Remember the scene in Idiocracy where people water their crops with Brondo, an electrolyte-filled sports drink because it's got electrolytes? They've been conditioned by advertising to believe that Brondo is what plants crave, even though it's clearly detrimental to their growth. This absurdity is a satirical take on how easily we can be misled by persuasive marketing. This blind acceptance of marketing messages is a recurring theme in the film. In our own world, we see similar patterns. We are constantly bombarded with advertising that appeals to our desire for instant gratification. From fast food commercials promising quick and tasty meals to online shopping ads offering one-click purchases, we are encouraged to buy things we don't need, often on a whim. We eat food that is bad for us, lured by the promise of convenience and flavor, ignoring the long-term health consequences. Our decisions are increasingly based on emotion rather than logic, driven by the immediate satisfaction these products promise. We are becoming increasingly susceptible to manipulation by those who seek to profit from our impulsivity. This manipulation extends beyond just consumer goods. It affects our views, our politics, and even our relationships. Social media platforms, for instance, are designed to keep us engaged, often promoting content that triggers emotional responses. This addiction to instant gratification is reshaping our society, making us more impatient and less willing to work towards long-term goals. The consequences are far-reaching, affecting our mental health, our financial stability, and our overall well-being. It's a cycle that's hard to break, but recognizing it is the first step towards change. By becoming more mindful of our choices and questioning the motives behind the messages we receive, we can start to reclaim control over our lives and make decisions that truly benefit us in the long run. One of the most disturbing aspects of Idiocracy is the complete absence of critical thinking. People accept everything they are told at face value, never questioning the information they are fed. This lack of skepticism allows those in power to manipulate the masses with ease. How often do we blindly accept information from the internet, news outlets, or social media without verifying its authenticity or considering its source? We share articles without reading them, retweet opinions we haven't thought through, and allow algorithms to shape our worldviews. In Idiocracy, advertising is ubiquitous and incredibly persuasive. People are bombarded with messages that tell them what to buy, what to think, and how to live their lives. This constant barrage of propaganda has a profound impact on their behavior. We may not have reached the extreme levels of product placement seen in the film, but advertising has become increasingly sophisticated in its ability to target our desires and insecurities. We are constantly being sold a lifestyle, an image, a version of ourselves that we are encouraged to aspire to. Idiocracy portrays a world where entertainment has completely eclipsed education and intellectual pursuits. People are happy to spend their days consuming mindless content, oblivious to the problems plaguing their society. While we haven't quite reached that level of apathy, there's no denying our growing addiction to entertainment. We spend countless hours scrolling through social media feeds, binge-watching streaming services, and playing video games. While these activities can be enjoyable and even enriching in moderation, they can also become a crutch, a way to avoid engaging with the complexities of the real world. The future presented in Idiocracy is a cautionary tale, a satirical exaggeration of what could happen if we continue down a path of anti-intellectualism and instant gratification. But is it really so far-fetched? The trends are there. The decline in critical thinking, the addiction to entertainment, the power of advertising, they all point to a future where we are more susceptible to manipulation, less equipped to solve complex problems, and more likely to be entertained than informed. The good news is that we are not yet living in the world of Idiocracy. We still have time to change course, to reclaim our intellectual curiosity, and to create a future where knowledge and critical thinking are valued above all else. The first step is awareness. We must recognize the forces that are dumbing us down and actively resist them. We must be critical consumers of information, questioning everything we see and hear. Idiocracy, though a comedy, serves as a powerful reminder of what we stand to lose if we allow ourselves to be lulled into a state of intellectual complacency. It's a call to action, a plea for us to engage our minds, to question the world around us, and to never stop learning. The future is not yet written. It is up to us to decide whether we will embrace the path of idiocracy or forge a new path, one where intelligence, knowledge, and critical thinking prevail. The choice is ours.